Hey, everybody. Good morning. We got another good show. Welcome to Biz Talk. Let's get going.
I have a feeling this is going to be a fun one. Good morning.
We're going to try to be serious as long as possible.
Right, yes.
That's boring. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is a great day in the Fusion One Lounge. I'm Glenna Hum, and around this, I guess it's a square. I started to say circle. We have our marketing guru, Sarah, and we have Kelsey. And we are just having so much fun on Biz Talk these days, talking to business people and getting some great tips for us and you to use. But before we get started, Sarah, can you put up our broadcast schedule?
I sure will. I want to remind everyone that you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super important because we have videos flying out there every single week that can help you. And don't forget that we go live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and our podcast, Marketing is a Mic, and a mic is one that you do not want to not subscribe to. So make sure you do.
Yes, we are everywhere. And we are really excited today to have our special guest. I want to introduce Matt Whaley with Utility Wraps. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm well. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. Now he's acting all normal and everything.
I know. Yeah. Why are you on your best behavior now?
What do you want me to do? I'm here to do a show with you guys, and I was like, are we doing this professional way, or are we just wing it? You know? Anyway, I'll do both here. Okay.
All right. Well, we will get serious kind of because we are really interested in what you guys do, and I know everybody watching would love to hear about what you do. So we'll get serious for just a second, but let's just go ahead and start out. Tell us a little bit about your business.
So Utility Wraps is a division of Utility Trailer Sales of Alabama. So when anybody asks me what I do, essentially I say that, imagine Coca-Cola buys 20 trailers. Well, they have graphics, unit numbers, all sorts of things that needs to go on those trailers. So that's exactly what I do is I'll set up a mock-up of what the trailer is going to look like when everything's all finished, like the color red, like specifically what color code it is. And then I'll send that mock-up to the customer for approval. And then we produce it all and install it all right here in-house at Utility.
Wow, that's fantastic. And we know you do trailers, obviously. Talk about some of the other things that you guys do, because you have even more customized things.
Sure. Yeah. So, a lot of what we do is really just like if you can put vinyl on a vehicle, that's pretty much what it is. So we have partnerships with like Mercedes-Benz of Birmingham and Penske Truck Rentals and Ryder. And so anytime they have someone that's buying a new truck or trailer or a new car, like a Mercedes Sprinter van or anything like that, we get with those customers and kind of figure out what their needs are and kind of develop a plan for them and set up, something that's brand specific to whatever they do. So really, it's just about putting their brand on whichever vehicle they have and making sure that it's visible and it looks good and that it's sharp.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And we do have some early birds this morning joining us. We have LaVon Cheney. She says, good morning. So good morning, LaVon. We have Cindy Edmonds. She's joining us. And also Melissa Dixon. So good morning to all of you.
Good morning. All right, let's talk a little bit more about your products and services and what makes them unique. So why would someone want to contact your business?
Well, so we're a little bit different than a lot of the sign shops in town. I kind of hesitate to call us a sign shop because really, we specialize in one area of a sign shop. When you go to a lot of sign shops in town, they specialize in the whole gamut. So they're not really a specialist in any one area. They kind of do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So we're not doing, banners for the softball team or, coroplast signs for the latest political candidate. We really only focus on car wraps, trailer wraps, truck wraps, and that's all we do. So when you ask like what sets us apart, being able to focus on that as the only thing that we do, we're able to buy things in bigger bulk than a lot of our competitors are. And so that allows us to offer a more competitive price, but it also allows us, because we're focusing on such a niche area of a sign shop, we're able to get everything done a lot faster and a lot quicker. Typically, our turnaround time on any project that we work on is 2 to 3 days, and that's a full wrap on some of these 26-foot box trucks and stuff like that. Now, like with a 53-foot trailer, you may be talking about 5 to 7 days or something like that. But that's design, printing, and then getting it all installed. So we try to really stay focused on how can we get this turned around quickly and get that vehicle back out on the road so that our customers can be using it and actually be making money with their vehicles.
Yeah. So can you kind of expand on the value of the product and how specifically that helps with business owners in terms of like visibility and exposure? Because I think that's really important.
Yeah, so a lot of the customers that we end up getting are people that, they've never really done something like this in the past, and they're a little hesitant about taking it on. So what we do at Utility is we offer free design services. So basically we'll design your entire wrap, basically get something that you're happy with, something that you really, really think looks good. And we don't charge you for any of that, as long as, we print and install the decals for you. So when you're talking about wraps like this, there's certain things that you got to pay attention to. Like, are you using the right material? Because there's different types of materials for different types of applications. Like if it's a flat, smooth surface, you don't want to use like a high performance cast vinyl, because it's really just overkill, But when you're talking about doing a car wrap, you want to make sure you're using the right material. So I say that because a lot of people are always wondering, what type of material are you guys going to use when you produce the wrap? And the answer is, we'll use whatever you want us to use, but there are options that kind of lay it out for you that, how much money do you want to spend versus like how long do you expect the wrap to last? So.
Well, that's really important to consider, because I feel like a lot of times people think that what you do is a very expensive service. But if you really think about how long the wraps last on the vehicles, and you're actually turning your vehicle into an asset at that point, because it's now a billboard on wheels, it's really not that expensive when you think about it, right?
Sure. Yeah, no, not at all. And so one of the best examples we have of that is we have a customer in Arab, Alabama, and they have a whole fleet of trailers. And before they talked to us, they didn't really have graphics on their trailers at all. They really just had like, a small little logo on the nose of the trailer and a small little logo on the back. And so what we did is we developed a package for them where we put, larger logos on the sides and really like drew awareness to which company it was that you saw driving down that road all the time. And by doing that, they have seen their business increase. He said 5 times the amount of business that we were doing last year. But like, I don't know for sure. I don't have any statistics on that or anything, but it makes sense, because, right now, if you needed to ship something via freight, like who would you call? Like you would call the people that you're familiar with, the people that you've seen driving down your road. And so it's really just a mobile billboard that if you're not taking advantage of it, you're really just missing out.
Yeah, truly. Well, you sent us some videos that I wanted to share. These are really cool. And it just kind of shows what the process is. So I'm going to pop up this vinyl wrap one. This one's really neat.
Yes, this is really just our security cameras that we have set up in our bays out here. And so so this is just someone's personal vehicle that he wanted to get a color changed on it. You may be looking at it and saying, it's not much of a color change, but he basically went from like a light gray to like a matte dark gray.
That's so
and
cool.
So the finished product is really amazing. So, but yeah, you can see Michael here just go into town on it. The fun. He does, yeah. So the fun thing about our job is that, a lot of the times we're able to just kind of put in headphones, listen to a podcast or music or something like that, and just go to work.
So, look at that.
When you see it all finished like that, it really just changes the whole look of the vehicle.
Yeah. Gosh,
wow.
It's a nice transformation. And like you said, the color change is subtle, but it just looks so clean. And I'm sure the wrap protects the paint as well.
It does, yeah. So, typically with a wrap, we tell a lot of people that, it's warranted for 5 years, but you typically get 7 to 11 years out of any wrap that we do. So when you think about it like this, so if you get a brand new vehicle and we wrap it with your brand or color change or whatever you're looking at doing, what ends up happening is that you are preserving the paint underneath. Imagine, 5 years down the road with a vehicle that doesn't have a wrap on it at all. Really, it's just getting beat down by the sun and the elements all the time. So what ends up happening is our wrap is taking a lot of that punishment. And so when you pull that wrap off 5 to 6 years later, you still have a brand new car underneath. As long as you remove it in the proper professional way, you're going to get a better resale value from your vehicle 5 years down the road.
Amazing. All right, let's cover some of the questions that you get asked all the time.
So one of the most common questions I get asked is, whenever we're about to produce a wrap for someone is, how can we make sure that the color is what I want it to be? With a lot of companies, they have marketing specialists and people that really focus on what their brand is supposed to be and the exact Pantone colors, CMYK makeup, RGB, whatever you want to use. They really want to make sure that color is correct. So we have a process here at Utility with what we do is we take the colors that you provide. So, say that you say it's Pantone 300C or whatever. So the RIP that we use, which is, basically a program that it's called Raster image processing. But basically what it does is it takes the image that we're going to print for the wrap and it picks out the different colors and then turns it into several little tiny dots. And that's what translates over to the printer. So imagine like a big old printer going back and forth when it's dropping these droplets of ink. It's like a bombardier in World War II or something like that, So as it's hovering across, it's got to know exactly when to drop that little piece of ink to end up exactly where it needs to be. So what it does is it takes that particular color that you were trying to achieve and it says, hey, these are 25 different variations of that one color. And so I definitely recommend that everybody do this. If you're thinking about getting a wrap done, you don't want it to show up at your office after they've put all this work into it and it's the wrong color. So what we recommend is that you get those colors printed out and then we'll take it to you and then you kind of hold it up next to whatever you've already got printed, or if you've got a Pantone swatch book or something like that, so that you can really make sure that color is exactly what you want. So that's how we make sure that it's going to be exactly what you expect.
Amazing. And you all cover, so we've talked about vinyl wraps, large format printing, but can you also handle smaller jobs like just sticker kits and things like that? I know you mentioned the now I can't even remember what it's called. I'm sorry. The license number.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So we call it unit numbers here, but it's different with every type of business. So, but basically all it is identifying numbers so that you know which truck is which truck. So imagine with a lot of these fleets, they have 100 trailers in their fleet, and so when you ask about little logo kits like that, a lot of time, I'd say probably 40% of what we do here is really just producing those little kits like that we ship across the country. So that they can be installed by either local installers or we ship them to the factory, and we have installers at our different factories and they get the decals installed there so that whenever your trailer is rolling off the production line, it's ready to go. So if you can imagine with freight like this, any moment that a trailer is sitting in a bay getting decals installed somewhere, it's losing money, because, each haul every time they go drive in any direction, they could be hauling $1,000 worth of product or more, So it's all about every day keeping that trailer on the road.
Okay. I have one more question for you. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Well, I wanted to touch on this other video because I wanted to see if you could tell us what kind of install this is. Yeah.
So, all right. This is it's for a company called Butts Foods. And basically what we're doing here is they've got a really older trailer that they were really just trying to rejuvenate. So you can see that color on the right side there. It used to be like totally white. That's just kind of how old the trailer is. And they've had a paint job like where the painted stripes went across it. So what we ended up doing is taking their graphics and just printing a full sheet like that. And then we install it over the top of the older trailer and kind of make it look brand new. So like whenever whenever it's all said and done, it looks like you have the white there. That's like a brand new trailer. You got fresh graphics. All the colors are really popping again. After 5 to 7 years, it really the sun starts to wear down on it and wears it out. So like when you see something like this, it's really all about rejuvenating the brand and making sure people still recognize that you're around and that you're investing money in your company.
Boy, it's important you line that up correctly.
Oh yeah. So, we do things a little bit different here. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll line up all of our graphics and basically create one giant sheet. And we'll do that all on a table here in the shop. But when we don't do that, we have to do it like you're seeing in this video where we line it up on the trailer. And that can be the difficult part. A lot of times lineup is the hardest thing to accomplish whenever you're installing graphics. But so when we're installing like a 26-foot box truck here, we install that all as one piece. We kind of stretch it tight like a drum across the entire truck. And then we have tools that go in and we roll everything into place so it looks like a paint job.
Look really good.
Yeah, that was cool.
Thanks.
I like the time lapse. Sorry, Kelsey, I cut you off. I wanted to show that.
That's okay. I just have one more question for you. So you mentioned shipping. So does it mean that if I own a company here in Birmingham, but I have fleet vehicles all over the country, that I can use utility wraps for all of my vehicles, no matter where they are?
That's correct. Yeah. So, there's two parts to that. So like one, it's getting the graphics to wherever it is that they need to be, right? The other part of that is who's going to install those graphics once they get there. So we do both things here. So we can coordinate the install with installers across the country. Typically, we'll just reach out to a reputable company that we believe in and make sure that they can do it for us. And if the customer prefers to find their own, person to do the install, we just kind of say, hey, run with it. We'll get the graphics produced and shipped and they'll be ready to install once they arrive. So
fantastic. Well, let's go to the people. They have questions. We also have Steve Johnson joining us this morning. So let's see. We have Melissa asking a question. She says, what's the strangest thing that you've ever wrapped?
Oh, really? It's probably that spider that we wrapped. Like, I think I sent you guys a video of this, but basically it's a 3-wheeled motorbike. It's called the brand's like a Spider F. I can't remember the exact model number, but when she first brought that in, we were like, I don't know how we're going to approach this because, a lot of everything is we produce a big old giant square and, we just install it on the trailer or the vehicle or whatever. Well, with a spider, you've got like curved fenders and small little areas that you're working around. So really the design part of that one took forever because we just had never really installed one like that before. It's always been vehicles or box trucks or 53-foot trailers. And so whenever you start doing something real small and intricate like that, it kind of throws you for a loop.
Well, talking about smaller things, Sis wants to know, do you guys do anything like, could you do decals for jet skis or wrap those?
Yeah. So there's a little bit of a different process when you're talking about vehicles that go, or boats and stuff, anything that's in the water. Right. So the idea is to reduce the amount of edges as much as possible. So when you're talking about a jet ski, the idea is that you want to wrap an entire side as one piece. You don't want to have like different panels and overlapping seams so that you're, putting edges on top of edges. The more edges there are on a boat like that, that's going to be, in the water, the more likely it is to fail. So when you're talking about a jet ski, it's really important that you focus on getting it all done as one gigantic piece, which we have no problem doing. It's really just a matter of, is the jet ski small enough so that, you can print it as one piece and wrap it around the entire jet ski. So
perfect. Okay, awesome. And Lavon is asking, and I think you may have mentioned this, how long does a wrap last? You said what, like 5 to 7 years?
Well, so we warranty them for 5 years. So if you have any issues at all in the first 5 years, we just tell you to come on back. We'll take a look at everything. And typically what we'll do is, once we got a good idea of what needs to be replaced, we'll tell the customer, hey, use your vehicle. As soon as we have it printed and ready to be installed, we'll schedule a date with you so that you can come in and you're not missing out on using your vehicle for very long.
Mhm.
So, but 5 years it's warranted. It typically lasts for 7 to 11 years.
Wow.
It really just kind of depends on like the weather and how much it's getting beat down by the sun, really. So, if you can imagine, if you can park it in a garage or whatever, it definitely helps the wrap last longer.
Mhm.
That's really amazing to me, because the wear and tear on roads, even that kind of stuff, that's a long time. And like
Sure.
Kelsey said, the investment's not that much when you're looking spreading it out over that many years.
Right. Yeah. So, that Impala that we watched the video of earlier, I think we did that wrap for $2,000. So, when you're talking about getting 7 years out of it,
Yeah.
Compared to a paint job that's going to cost, $4,000 to $5,000 on a vehicle like that, maybe even more.
Mhm.
It really kind of makes sense to do a wrap. And the other part of that is, say 5 years down the road, you're kind of tired of that gray that we put on there. Well, let's swap it out and do something different the next time.
Mhm.
So,
Yes, so much more flexibility. Well, we have you guys on because we know the quality and the standards that you work by. And so not every wrap company is created equal, I'm sure. And there's probably some red flags out there. We want to help the people that are listening. What are some of the things that you need to check out, or what are some red flags that should make you run the other way if you're searching?
Right. Yeah. So I tell people to make sure exactly which material that company says they're going to use. There's a lot of companies that I've run into where they say, oh, we only use the best material. And then it shows up at our shop and it's just not, it's the material that takes twice as long to install and it falls off the vehicle after 3 years, So you really want to make sure that the company is using whichever material it is that's going to get warranted for 5 years and last 7 to 11. And if you're wondering if that company is using it, give me a call. Like, I don't care. I will totally coach you through it, even if it's for another company. Okay. So I just want to make sure that you're getting something that's going to last and that you're happy with.
That's a huge thing. So what are some other maybe false advertisements that people promise? I would imagine time is a big one. Oh, we can have it ready tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, so the one big advantage, so I've worked for 4 different sign shops since I've been, working in this industry. Utility is the first place I've ever worked that actually has the facilities out here to get everything done. So we have 3 65-foot installation bays dedicated to graphics, which means I can fit 3 53-foot trailers in these bays out here, completely protected from the elements, and work on them and get them done. You'd be hard pressed to find another sign shop in town that has that sort of facility to work with. A lot of times they're calling their friend down the road that, has a spot in like an insulation company or something, and they're renting out space in that building. So when you think you're doing work with this company and you expect the trailer to go to that company, they're like, no, I'm going to get you to go to my friend Jack's place down the road. And so those are the red flags I would look out for. You really want to find a company that does it all in-house. They have the facilities to take care of everything, and they're going to stand by their product. And that's really the most important thing with stuff like this is if they're not going to stand by their product, it's really a waste of time, because, things do happen, that you could forget to press down one little edge of a wrap and it's going to mess up the wrap. Well, so if that ever happens with us, we take care of it. No questions asked. As long as you didn't get hit by a Mack truck or something like that, we're going to assume that it was our fault and that we're going to take care of it. So.
Perfect. Okay.
I imagine having those facilities is a huge thing. I mean, if like you said, oh, your friend Jack is offering to do your wrap for you, but he doesn't have the facility to do it, run away. Because I imagine if the wind blows and you get dust and on the vehicle, that's going to ruin everything.
That's the biggest problem is any sort of particulate that can get underneath the wrap is going to cause that wrap to fail eventually. It may not happen immediately, but a year down the road, it's going to start falling off and you're going to start wondering why. So it's really about prepping the vehicle correctly, making sure that you're getting it as clean as can be, and that you're not using like a wax or something like that to clean it. You want to use like isopropyl alcohol or denatured alcohol, something that's going to remove those residual particles from underneath and then leave you with a clean surface to apply the wrap to. So what I like to tell everybody is that your wrap is only as good as the surface underneath. You know, so whatever it's sticking to is how good the wrap's going to be. So if your paint's peeling off currently, that's got to be taken care of before we apply the wrap to it. And that's something that's a little bit different about utility wraps, is we will definitely let you know and kind of give you the option. Like, you know, do you want us to take care of it, or would you like to find someone else to take care of it? You know, we're not looking to make extra money off of you every wrap we do. We're just trying to make sure it lasts as long as you expect it's going to.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Well, that's
All
a
right,
good approach.
Kelsey, I think we're going to wrap it up, Kelsey. Huh? Or is it?
You're up.
I don't know what this cue means.
she was mesmerized by my speaking, is what it was.
The good thing about us is we know how to transition really well.
Where am I?
Oh, would you like me to take it, or London, do you want to take it?
Well, then I'll ask you.
She needs a little more coffee.
I think we covered a lot of reasons.
See, she's got it made. Yeah, she's just watching the video. You know?
Right.
All right. So, is there
I'm an audience member.
anything else you can think of that set you guys apart? We've covered a bunch of stuff. I mean, versus your competition, what differentiates you guys? I think.
Well, so really, the main thing is that those free design services that we offer for everybody. So, you know, any shop you go to, they're going to be like, the wrap is going to be this much, right? $2,000. And then you get a bill for $2,600. And it's because they charged you $600 for all those times you went back and forth and tried to design the wrap and get it looking the way you want it to. So be on the lookout for that. Just make sure, ask them how their design fees work at the top, and then you'll get a pretty good understanding of what to expect. So with a company like ours, the only way you pay for design services is if you just have us design a complete wrap for you, and then you take it to another company down the road and you have them print it. You know, if you want to have them print it, that's fine, but we are going to charge you for the design at that point, you know.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, you kind of make me want to get something wrapped. What do I have that I can wrap up?
Believe me, it's a weekly struggle with me. Is, you know, what color do I want to wrap my truck this week? You know, when you have the ability to do it, it's like,
oh yeah,
why not? You know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I want to do mine now.
I have to say, when Cindy asked you about jet skis, I imagined in my mind a beautiful wrap with Ariel coming up out of the water.
Yes.
You can do that, right?
Yeah. I can, but I'm going to put my face on Ariel. So it'll be like,
I'm watching Ariel.
What's wrong with this decal?
Yeah. Art is subjective, right? I mean, that's how.
It would be a great story, though. You'd be able to tell everybody about that wrap.
Who is that guy? That's funny. Did we have any more videos? I was trying to think if we had one
Yeah,
more.
we've got this one quick here with table and time. Let's pop this up real quick. That beginning, there we go.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of our time lapse of our design process. But so this is, you know, we have these cameras that I just kind of stick up in random places throughout the day to kind of get. That's actually me out there wrapping this truck. So Mike and I typically will take on the more difficult projects. But yeah, so Table and Time, they just had their truck wrapped last week, actually. So you should be able to see that one driving down the road. I think they're based right there off of 280 around the Colonnade area, around Grandview or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's what it's all about.
Awesome. Yeah. Cindy Edmonds, her husband, he finds new old cars all the time. Yeah, Cindy, I don't think you better introduce him to Matt at all.
Yeah.
No, please, Cindy, please send him my way.
She's laughing. She goes, I can't see Ariel on our jet ski.
But if you want it to be a different color, that's really easy to do as well. So,
well,
yeah.
Oh gosh, it's been fun. We've almost got 30 minutes under our belt. I can't believe it. So we're going to run your information at the bottom here. If you want to get a hold of Matt, you can go to his website, utilitywraps.com, or let me have it come again. Went too fast for me to read it. And his email is graphics@utilitywraps.com. And the phone number 205-236-0226. So get with Matt and get that stuff wrapped.
Yes, for sure. Okay, well, Matt, it's time. We've gotten serious for long enough. We're gonna play a little game for you. And
Yeah,
you're actually
so
gonna
serious.
spin this wheel, okay? And whatever it lands on, that's the game we're gonna play.
What's the choices?
Do what?
What are the choices?
Yes, that's what I was just about to say. So we've got 5-second rule, fill in the blank, and famous movie quotes. So we're gonna go ahead and spin this bad boy and see where we go today.
Big money, big money.
Yeah, big money.
Yay!
No winner, look what you won.
He's like, okay, I don't know what that means.
Okay, so 60 seconds.
I have no idea what's coming. All right.
No,
I don't.
you sure don't.
Gotcha.
Okay, you ready?
Lined up. Ready, go.
Okay. When I'm bored, I blank.
Watch movies.
I always have blank with me.
A pen.
Nothing annoys me more than blank.
Getting interrupted.
I'm always late to blank.
The movies.
I deserve a gold medal for blank.
My smile.
I can't live without blank.
My wife.
That's a good choice.
Right.
Yeah. I hate when I have to blank.
Interrupt someone.
Okay. And the greatest TV show of all time is blank.
Lost.
Good choice.
Good one. Oh my gosh, you did fantastic.
That was way tougher than I thought it was going to be. I'm not very good at rapid fire questions like that. You give me time to prepare, and I've got this.
I threw that in just for you. That's a new game. So you were the very first one to play it. Now everybody's going to be going, I hope I don't get that fill in the blank.
So wait a minute. Was that wheel like predetermined to land on that because it's a new thing? Oh,
No,
okay.
it's totally random.
Okay.
It was random. We promise.
I need to get that for my coworkers so that we can like put all the jobs for the day up there, and then we can be like, "Sorry, you get this one."
I love it. It's like the 4-hour lift. Stores have to do.
Now, I've talked to you about this before, Matt, but LaVon, all these people are in our BNI groups. So LaVon's like, you are so funny. You need to be visiting our BNI group because we have a lot of fun and you would fit right in. So we're going to have to work on that.
Okay, we can work on that. I like BNI. The only, like I've done it in the past. It was just 7 o'clock in the morning every week. When do y'all meet?
7:30.
Oh, that's better. That's better. I can make 7:30 work. Okay.
Well, we'll be setting you up to visit then, and it's online right now, so it's not that hard. So.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, I can make that work.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming on, and you just made my day. I'm crying. You ruined my makeup. That's all right.
Hey, I had a blast. Thank you so much, y'all. It was a lot of fun.
Well, we really appreciate it, and we appreciate all of you tuning in. And as always, remember our marketing mix segment is Tuesday at 8, and we will be back next Friday at 8 o'clock with Biz Talk. And our special guest will be Jacob Vale with Alpha Insurance. So we will see y'all then. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.